So this is a continuation from my blog memoir, and I'll just start. For context, I'd like to start with Oskar Schindler. The movie Schindler's List is based upon his time in Krakow, heading a ceramics factory. It's a compelling movie in the radical change Oskar Schindler goes through. Oskar Schindler was an opportunist and became a spy for the military intelligence service of Nazi Germany. He later told Czech police that he did it because he needed the money. When Schindler witnessed the liquidation of the ghetto, he was appalled. From that point forward, Schindler changed his mind about the Nazis. He decided to get out and to save as many Jews as he could. He bribed guards with food, diamonds, and gold to free Jewish people from going to the camps. His life after World War II was a mess. He went bankrupt more than once, drank too much, and had a massive heart attack. However, the Jewish citizens that he freed honored him and kept in contact with him until his death. He radically changed his mind and took action to save lives. It's what makes him heroic. Not that he was perfect. He wasn't. He was finally willing to do something for someone else. I'll return to Mr. Schindler, but now it's off to 1965 in Palos Verdes Estates. As I'd mentioned, there was a Texaco station adjoining the Frontier Market strip mall. That summer, they ran a promotional game. It was a kind of pull-tab thing. Each time a driver bought gas, he was given two sections. One was a long section with two drawings of fruit: 2 oranges, cantaloupes, grapefruits, apples, watermelons, or cherries. The second section was small and had only one drawing, and the drawings had to match to get a prize. Monetary prizes started at $5 and went up to $30. Naturally, there were lesser prizes, such as a bottle of soda or a pack of cigarettes. If you matched cherries, you got one of the lesser prizes. Lots of people matched cherries. It generated excitement and crowds. My mother loved that game and collected her strips each time she bought gas. She drove a Buick Electra from Palos Verdes Estates to USC daily. Traffic wasn't as congested as it is today, but it was 50 miles round trip per day. And that Buick sofa on wheels ate up a lot of gas. One day, she came home gleeful. Pushing the tabs in my younger brother and my faces, she said, "See? 3 oranges. That's $30, kids." $30 in today's money would be close to 275. Score, right? Well, in case you haven't guessed, my mother loved excitement and being with people. It was part of her charm to welcome any impromptu guests that dropped by day or night, or to accept last-minute invitations with delight. That impulsiveness was also in how she handled money, or didn't. She was what we called a spendthrift. Impulse control wasn't one of her top priorities. When I was in high school and living with my father, he told me that in their first week of marriage, she bought 8 pairs of shoes in one day. 8 pairs! Who needed 8 pairs of shoes? He sputtered. It was a different era. They married in 1947, and the world was still recovering from World War II. Shortages were everywhere: meat, gas, rubber, and leather for shoes. It was considered extravagant to buy 2 pairs, but to buy 8? Whoa. As I said, impulse control wasn't one of her top characteristics. In that last week of summer, money became very important to her. In the past year, my older sister gave my money her job earnings. I suspected as much when she told me not to give her money I earned. Now that my sister was gone, that dried up. So to win $30 was a godsend. Except she didn't. I don't remember why I checked the tabs, but something was off, and I picked them up and I stared at them for a few minutes. The drawings were similar, but definitely different. When I examined the key of what shape was what fruit, she had pulled 3 cantaloupes, not oranges. 3 cantaloupes equaled $0, not even a bottle of soda. Now, to soften the blow, I could have shown more compassion in exposing her error. I could have told her it was an easy mistake. The difference in the pictures was small. Oranges had bumps on the rind, whereas cantaloupes had indents. The drawing wasn't very good or clear. I held the pictures up and said, "These aren't oranges." Yeah, that was what I said. "What?" she shrieked and grabbed them. After staring a long time, she finally realized her mistake. Color drained from her face as she handed them back. She shuffled into her bedroom. I put them on top of the bread box where other coupons and receipts were filed, and I thought that was the end of it. The next afternoon, Jim arrived. I wrote about him in the last piece. He was my mother's married boyfriend. Jim called me into the kitchen. He sat at the head of the table and my mother next to him. He pointed to a chair and said to sit. Confused as to why I was being asked to join them, I hesitated. Jim gestured with his hand to the chair next to him directly opposite my mother, and I slid into the chair, not moving it. Whatever was coming, I wanted no part of it. My legs shook under the table. He asked, "Where are the tabs from yesterday?" I rose slowly, retrieved the slips from atop the bread box, and handed them to him. As I sat, my mother avoided eye contact, her hands folded in her lap, head down. After a pause, Jim said, "She's right." My mother lifted her head, her eyes boring into mine, red with anger. She bared her teeth and hissed at me. My mind went blank. I stopped breathing. What just happened? Did my mother blame me for her error? Jim snapped, "Hey." He glared at my mother. She faked a laugh, one of those demeaning deflections in a "just kidding" attitude. Jim gave her a look that stopped her cold. He turned, gently thanked me, and patted my arm. I got the silent message to leave, and I quietly walked down the hallway and slipped into my bedroom. He had stood up to my mother and protected me. It wouldn't be the last time.